Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's me, darksaiyan, and 10 years ago, Marvel released Daredevil on Netflix and the entire planet was filled with joy and gladness. Looking back, I didn't think they knew it would be their magnum opus. But at the same time, an argument can be made that they knew they peaked because they also released Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and the god-awful Iron Fist, which did its best to take a huge dump on all the goodwill Daredevil built from the fans. They also released The Punisher, but it's also like they didn't want that to succeed either. And then MCU shows started being released on Disney Plus, and well, you know how that turned out. I'm starting to get a sneaking suspicion that these studios are almost intentionally releasing garbage and killing quality shows for some kind of sick and twisted social experiment. However, after 4 years, wait, that can't be right. It's been 4 years since WandaVision. Anyway, I guess time flies when TV is garbage. Anyway, well, after 4 years of utter bullshit of Disney Plus era Marvel TV, we have gotten our Marvel TV good back. We've gotten Daredevil, born again. Alright, so after Foggy's death at the hands of Bullseye, Matt Murdock hangs up the cowl and turns away from superhero religion. He renounces all forms of vigilantism and superhero-type activities and fights for justice by upholding the law, for as long as this lapse in faith lasts anyway. Meanwhile, on the other side of the aisle, Wilson Fisk amazingly recovers from being shot in the fucking face and decides, you know what, maybe organized crime isn't worth the effort. So he decides to turn over a new leaf and become a politician. Oh my goodness. Because to quote him, a rich man serves himself, but the mayor, he serves the people, which he seems to believe for all 2 minutes in total. In any case, it'll be interesting to see where these men and their newfound convictions collide. Now, for the moment you were all waiting for: Daredevil versus Bullseye, Murdock versus Poindexter, Matt versus Ben, super hearing versus super high-functioning autistic aim. Every time these two run the 1v1, it's always an instant classic, and this fight was no different. It started when Bullseye uses one of Foggy's clients to lure Matt away from Foggy and Karen so he can kill them both. When Matt realizes it's bait, it's a little too late as Bullseye already shot Foggy in the stomach, as well as 2 innocent bystanders. Before he could off Karen, Matt dives at him and they both crash into the bar and a barroom brawl erupts between the two. Now, Muji crew, it is at this time I would like to submit the notion of Mr. Benjamin Leonard Poindexter for Hater of the Year alongside Mark Gargan and Angstrom Levi. Let me explain. Daredevil kicks Bullseye through a sliding door in the bar, and when he gets up, he throws a knife at a bystander, but Daredevil pulls the guy out of the way. Now, some random chick thought it'd be a good idea to take a pool stick and smash over Bullseye's back, to which she responded by throwing the cue ball at her forehead, knocking her out. He then proceeds to pick up 2 pool balls and throw one at Daredevil, which he expertly blocks, but the second one ricochets from the floor to the wall and hits a random woman in the temple, knocking her the fuck out, only for him to climb up the stairwell and kill a random guy with one of his throwing knives and then proceed to knock his girlfriend out with an uppercut. As if none of that was enough, Matt threw him off a 3-story building after he heard Foggy's heartbeat, and this guy refused to die. It has to be his hate that's keeping him alive at this point. This body of work surely is a strong contender for Hater of the Year. So, at its core, the show operates more like a neo-noir crime drama that just happens to have superheroes rather than your run-of-the-mill superhero TV show, which is also a stroke of genius, as that's a genre with story elements that best fits Daredevil. Matt employs a cynical nature after the death of his best friend and believes strongly that if New York elects Fisk as mayor, then Fisk is the mayor the city deserves. He places no real faith in the system, but he operates in the spirit of the law, the spirit that upholds morality and justice. It's a man torn between what he can do within the letter of the law and what he needs to do in the spirit of the law. It has good depth, but it doesn't attempt to be complex. And that's that magic of the show. You know what you're watching, but the hook is that you want to find out why. That's why I argue that the second season of the original Daredevil was the weakest and least memorable, even though it was still better than any other thing Netflix put out at the time. Now, another stroke of genius was the immersive nature of Daredevil's powers. It really pulls you into the general process and makes you feel like part of the show when he's interacting with the show using his powers. They really took show don't tell very seriously, because all through the fight between Daredevil and Bullseye, you could hear Foggy's heart weaken and him gradually die. When Matt meets Fisk, he can tell that Fisk lost weight because his step is lighter. He trusts Hector Ayala because he can hear him tell the truth, as well as lie about keeping secrets. Speaking of Hector Ayala, he seems to be the mechanism the story wants to use to get Matt to find his faith in the mask again. And let's not forget Bibi Ulrich, the niece of Ben Ulrich from the Netflix show. You all remember Uncle Ben? No, not this one, this guy. The investigative journalist that old Kingpin had strangled in his home because of how good he was at his job. Yes, that Uncle Ben. Bet that's not going to be an awkward conversation when it's hard. In any case, her character is designed to connect with the audience, interviewing New Yorkers about crime, which resonates with the show's themes of justice and morality. Okay, so the weakest part of the show is the cheaper CGI used in some of the scenes that was obviously worked on by the creators of Captain America: Brave New World. I was barely 15 minutes into the show when I could recognize their masterstroke of budgetless CGI animation. Otherwise, for me, the show is more or less perfect. There's a lesser storyline that has yet to be unraveled, as well as a more sinister subplot by a certain bum-ass Da Vinci wannabe that's drawing murals around the city. I'm talking about this dude, Muse. I've done a video on him, just check it out and you'll be up to speed. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. And I also want to thank you if you made it to the end. I'm really appreciative. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps us keep the lights on. Please like the video, comment if you don't agree with what we said, share it with your friends, and I'll catch you in the next one.